Hello everyone, this is Dr. Greg again with a very exciting video based on some recent research that just came out in May of 2020, so just last year. And it talks about, the title of the research is Effects of Exercise on Cognitive Performance in Older Adults. That's us. A narrative review of the evidence, possible biological mechanisms, and recommendation for exercise prescription. So I want to go through this research, several videos, because I think this is extremely important, because in 2017, the number of people aged 60 and over was 962 million in the world. By 2050, it's going to be 2.1 billion. So if we don't take care of ourselves, we're going to be a hell of a stress on healthcare in the world. And what we want to do is we want to do everything possible so that we live a healthier, more cognitive or brain-thinking life than accept the fact that we might get old and have all sorts of problems and all that kind of stuff. I today went in for a stress test, and I looked at all the individuals going into the hospital, and frankly, it was kind of depressing. Overweight, slow, hunched over, all that type of stuff. I think it doesn't have to be necessary to age like that. And this research actually proves it. I want to go through it with you, and I'm going to go through several parts of this research. It's going to be several videos because it's long and there's a lot of things going on here. But what they discovered, that physical activity and exercise has emerged as potential methods to improve brain health in older adults. Now, when your brain is healthy, your body's healthy. So when you're hunched over, that's an unhealthy brain. But if you're standing upright, your brain is healthier, because your brain is designed to make your body move and to make it have good posture. So posture is run by your brain, and it's run subconsciously. So if you're hunched over, your posture is bad, and that means your brain is bad. So there are four major mechanisms that this research has shown, or appears to have shown, that underlie the exercise-induced cognitive improvement. There are four areas, or actually, I'm sorry, five, excuse me. Number one is increasing growth factors. In other words, if you exercise, you're challenging your muscles, you're challenging your brain, you're challenging everything, and it actually excites or makes your body produce growth factors to help repair, to help build, what have you. So that's one of the things it does. There's also something called neuroplasticity, and I know you've heard of that before. I've talked about neuroplasticity before, and neuroplasticity is really good for your brain. You actually improve its functioning by challenging it in a good way. Also, this is very important for a lot of people. You've heard about inflammation. It actually inhibits inflammation. Exercise inhibits inflammation. Now, everyone, I have people coming, I must have inflammation in my joints or this, that, or the other thing. Exercise can actually inhibit that. Something to think about. Improved vascular function. Your heart rate, your heart, your vascular system gets better, reducing potentially plaquing, which I'm going to look into research for that later on, but reduce the plaquing, reduce the garbage that's in your vessels, and that goes to your brain. It can actually improve that. All right? And finally, something you've all heard before, you've heard of adrenal fatigue or this, that, and the other thing. There's something called the hypothalamic adrenal axis regulation. So that is all about stress, all about rest, all about fatigue, all about sleep. All those types of things is regulated by the hypothalamic adrenal axis. What exercise does, or what it actually does, is it helps regulate that so it functions more normally. So really, it's a no-brainer. You got to exercise. Now, I'm going to talk about in probably another video on what types of exercises are beneficial, the variety, how many you have to do, all that kind of stuff. But you're going to have to understand is that exercise is an everyday thing. So just looking at our ancestors, Our ancestors exercised every day, and they did not stop. But they didn't exercise purposely. They didn't say, oh, I'm going to lift weights or I'm going to ride a bike, whatever. They just did things. So an example is there's a movie, a documentary called Happy People. And it is on Netflix. I think it's still on. I'm not sure if it is or not. But it's about these people that live in Siberia, and they work every day of their lives. They have one day off a year, and that is New Year's Day. But they work every day of their lives because they have to survive. They have to fish for their dogs in the summertime so the dogs have food throughout the winter. They have to repair their hunting lodges in the spring. Or actually, I'm sorry, in the fall. They have to set traps in the late fall. They have to make sure they have enough food to survive through the winter, through the summertime, all that type of stuff. Because when you hunt in the summertime, your food gets eaten by flies. So you have to hunt in the wintertime. They're always doing something. They're always moving. And these people are happy. So they think they're older. They're in their some of these individuals are in their 70s, and they're still out there making traps, moving logs, fishing for their dogs, all that type of stuff. So naturally, humans are meant to be doing things all the time. So sitting in front of a TV, sitting in front of the computer, sitting on the couch, doing nothing is bad for us. So we're going to talk about how you could sort of circumvent that in later videos. But just so you know, there's research proving that exercise, and it doesn't have to be horrible exercise, actually improves our cognition. And that makes sense because that's the way we lived for millennia. And we've only lived this way for a little bit of time, and it is actually showing that it's not good for us, causing lots of chronic problems for us. Dementia, Alzheimer's, cardiac problems, back pain, neck pain, all this type of stuff can be improved by simply exercising all day long. That's all for now. Look for my next video, which I'm going to talk about mini exercises and how to improve your brain and your physical health through not really hard exercises, but just exercises in general. Take care and have a great week.